So let's think about this really quick. pH balance, what is it? First and foremost, pH stands for potential of hydrogen. Yet, let's simplify it just a little bit. We can live 2 to 3 weeks without food, 2 to 3 days without water, and 2 to 3 minutes without oxygen. So the most important element of our existence is the element of oxygen. And if we think about what we're doing to ourselves today, and let me just reiterate a couple things. We are designed to pick it, pluck it, dig it, and drink lots of water. Yet today as a society, we cook it, nuke it, eat it out of a can, a box, a pickup window, concession stand, vending machine, and we drink no water. So we see how drastic our diets have changed. And yet when we bring it back to pH balance, let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and just fill this kit with the cylinder with water. It's just regular tap water. I'm going to put what's called phenol red, which is the acid that tests for pH balance. I'm going to put in 5 drops. And I'm going to show that that water is just a little over. So remember, what I'd like to do is anything below 7 is considered acidic. The way I like to describe that or explain that is that the more acidic we become, the more oxygen deprived we become. And that's where most of our health concerns thrive. Yet the more alkaline we become, the more oxygen enriched we become, and that's our protection. Now, we do things in life that oftentimes it's a choice. And yet I always have to ask, do we know how many cups of water it takes to neutralize 1 20-ounce soda pop in our bodies? The answer to that is 32. 32 cups of water, and yet most of our pop drinkers don't drink 32 cups of water in a month, but they drink 5 or 6 of these a day. And I wonder why they feel the way they do. And yet, at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that that is nice and acidic. You see, that is where most of our dysfunctions thrive, is in that oxygen-deprived environment. Now, what I'd like to do at this point is that oftentimes we hear that these minerals, this right here is a colloidal trace mineral. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put in a couple of drops to test to see how that buffers that acidity with no change. Yet, remember, to me, by taking these trace minerals on a daily basis, it's like eating a raw diet from a mineral standpoint that we have complete control and consistency with. So in other words, it helps buffer that acidity and helps pull that alkalinity back to that balanced state. Now remember, that's not a true depiction of blood. Because if our blood changes even 1/100%, we're basically dead. And yet at the same time, we have so many different, pH balances throughout the body. The most acidic, of course, is found in our gut, which has a pH of anywhere from 1, no more than 3. You know that concept, we are what we eat? It's not what we're eating, it's what we're capable of absorbing. And without that proper balance in the gut, that proper acidity, we're not absorbing. Yet, the most alkaline solution in the human body is found within our gallbladder. And that bile has a pH of anywhere from 7.6 to 8.65. So that's the most alkaline solution. But our blood has to maintain that perfect 7.35 to 7.45. If that differs even 1/100%, we're not here any longer. So what I believe that we're capable of doing with these ionic trace minerals is stopping the robbing process from within, because if our output of these minerals are greater than our input on a daily basis, our bodies have to rob the cells, the tissues, the organs, and eventually your bone to maintain the homeostasis of the blood. So by putting that that balance back in on a consistent basis, I believe that that's how we control that overall balance throughout the entire body. And ultimately, that's our health.